Limbus Displacement Company is not a gacha game, but soon it will be, made by one of my favorite developers ever, before they decided to stop advertising. I wonder why. Hello, avid viewer who may be asking yourself why you should care. Well, I'll try to prove to you to at least give this game a chance when it comes who am I kidding? We only have a month and a bit till it releases, and Project Moon needs clout. All of this only because our first for the chain smoker is unquenchable. So here is my overly motivated YouTuber content talking about video game news. In this game you will be beating people up, rogueliking, beating up abominations beyond human comprehension, playing D&D, recreating the dads react to soccer meme, and crying, because the writers have yet to disappoint me. This game is the third game in what we call the Project Moonverse. My favorite parts of this multimedia verse is Hebrew mythology, Jesus, Snow White, Metamorphosis. I can't wait till they collab with Karl Marx. Like the books and the comics in this franchise that sucks my life away, this game should be quite disconnected from the other pieces of media, besides the fact that it's chronologically happening after everything. So if you don't want to play some of the most brutally unfair, difficult and time-consuming games in existence, you should be fine. The only spoilers you'll receive is Lobcorp falls, the Earth tree burns, and we're about to simplify someone's knee joints. Your team in this game consists of 5 people out a ball and 7 bench players. Every character that gets to participate in the Slapfest 2022 has a so-called deck of free skills. Each skill has a color, so we can make the enemy taste the rainbow. Forcefully. You do this by using the board down below and chaining abilities together. When I said deck, by the way, I wasn't joking. You can card count in this game. You can also select the character icons to guard and reduce incoming damage. Chaining skills of the same color also boost their impact. Targets are chosen automatically, and if an enemy attacks your unit back, a clash happens. You see, each attack is decided by a coin flip. The higher roll gets to do the fun. These ranges are often small and won't leave things to luck, if you play the game right. Attacks also have 3 types: Slapchop, English Citizen, and Club. And as you expect, every enemy has weaknesses. Slapping the enemy enough so their HP bar goes below the yellow line will stagger them, making them immobile for a turn. As every turn passes, one unit will get an extra skill column. You may think this gameplay might be a little boring, like every gacha game is. But don't worry, we haven't touched upon the future combat mechanics. This game feels like Library Ruina's cousin. I can guarantee most of the mechanics from there will make it. There's defensive skills that, if not used during combat, stay for other encounters, like defend, which defends, and dodge, which, as long as you roll higher, will evade every attack. There's ranged attacks that always go first that leave you to get your ass beat by your mom, and counters, which are like dodges but for insane people. I will even skip status effect, which can range from increasing your damage and your rolls to... But for now, we have to worry about collecting every color skittle. You gain skittles by using skills of color. They are used to activate passives of benched and unbenched units. They activate automatically when you have enough of the required currencies. On the other hand, you can use these skittles to make characters do their noble ego skills. After using these skills, the sinner will gain extra status effects, but using the skills will often get passive abilities deactivated. There's also sanity, which will make your units go buck wild. It impacts your coin flips and will make you unable to control your units. But sanity? What's that? I have 0 of it. Like and subscribe to fund my therapy. If nothing I said in the past couple of minutes made sense, watch the combat introduction video. On a final unrelated note, the director said he wanted to simplify Libraries of Ruina's combat with this. I am struggling to see which part of this is simplified. At the end of each chapter there's a roguelike style dungeon with various events and battles, your characters retaining damage and sanity throughout. You see, all of this would be fun and fine if humans were the only problem, but humans tend to lack organs, while this wheel has many. Abnormality fights work basically the same as normal fights, except abnormalities do several attacks a turn, and you can select which attack to counter with who. Each skill is also connected to a part which you can destroy. Oh. Okay, time to choose a character to do a saving throw. I cannot quantify the results of failing and succeeding these checks. Remember, the devs are the same people who made being blind and having dementia a boss mechanic, so we can trust these developers to make each of the fights some crazy piece of work. Some smart team building may be in order. Beating these fights will give you items which boost your stats during dungeon exploration. There's also a permanent roguelike dungeon mode which has no healing room. You select a starting item and 4 identities. You can obtain more friends as you progress through the dungeon, as well as try upgraded you. It's just IS2 from Arknights. Now, why are there monsters? Who are these people? And why are we a clock? You see, this is a dystopian alphabet soup separated into 26 districts, each district having a mega corporation known as a Bing, and each of them being very separate with their own rules and cultures, and it just so happens that L-Corp has fallen. Lobotomy Corporation used to be a video game where you made a lot of energy in the city using monsters. I'm betting you can guess where the monsters went. Totally unrelated to the fall of LobCorp, people started getting supernatural abilities and sometimes even turning into monsters, and a huge tree sprouted in L-Corp.
Whoops, now it's gone.
Your job is to find the fallen piss glow sticks that fell out of the tree. How else will you watch your favorite VTuber karaoke streams? Of course, you will have to fight against the whole of chat for it. To do this, you will use 12 prisoners, each with their own taste of trauma and based on literature characters. While you yourself have been slightly distorted and turned into a human alarm per se, don't worry, the prisoners don't get away from magic mohikari as well. They get to inherit powers from themselves in alternate universes. Who knows? They might be prisoners here, but elsewhere one of them was a janitor or something. With all that said, Korean Project Moon fans know way more than me, because they can read Leviathan, and I cannot. And I can't guarantee that this game will not spoil the concepts of the other two, or be too intertwined to be enjoyed. Is what I would have said if literally the next day I didn't find out I could read Leviathan. What the fuck? Now, if you played all the games and haven't read this, do yourself a favor, read it. Even if you're not a fan of reading, this is genuinely worth it. So much so that it made me believe that Limbus Company's story just cannot be bad. At least to Project Moon fans who are already way too into the lore. But knowing how expensive this world is, we will probably get something absolutely new. That is a natural flowing way to introduce new players to the world. But again, that is a big cope. I'll probably do a full Leviathan review a week before Limbus Company releases. And about that, I am guaranteed that Limbus Company is releasing on goddamn Christmas Eve. Even Leviathan's story starts on it. And it matches up with the director saying they will launch it in around 2 months. What I can say is that the creators are consistently good or amazing at writing episodic stories, so making a long-term gacha game in this already thought-out, pre-established, but still impossibly foreign universe is perfect.
Fortnite Battle Pass, I just shit out my ass.
But how do you obtain these alternate personalities for our 12 prisoners dress-up game? Well, you pull on the gacha. When you roll a dupe, you get a shard which can be used to purchase other identities. The identity list will get expanded with the identities of previous seasons once 2 seasons pass. There's also a battle pass, because why isn't there? With story-related egos. I will keep laughing at the people at Twitter who have not watched the stream. You will gain the battle pass EXP by doing the roguelike dungeon, and you can claim rewards 5 days a week. There's one thing that is still uncertain. Can the ego skills gained with identities be separated from their identities, since we see characters equipped with multiple ego skills? Besides that, we don't know the pricing or the rates, so I can't guarantee a good gaming experience, nor I can guarantee any of these statements will age well. The game can always just be not fun, story not good, and monetization bad, and there's no way to tell for now. But there are some other concerns, patterns per se, with Project Moon games and indie first-time gacha games in general. Every Project Moon game has started off with balancing issues, or just not good. Library Ruina had abnormality cards reworked every update to the point where the player base lost track of them. The process of creating a gacha game is covered by a lot of red tape and industry secrets, so often more than not, servers crash on release, or not work at all for the entire region of Asia. Besides that, I think this is one of the gacha games that has the chance to be as good and interesting as Arknights or FGO, because we can admit, FGO has as much gameplay as this fuck you deal. With the world building and combat variety of Library Ruina, this is genuinely a great contender. Unless it has balancing issues, then wait a month before playing. Thank God they're not releasing in China. Remember to subscribe and follow Project Moon, share this to our gacha gamer friends so we can get to the Ryoshu Ego for free. Well, now that this is over, I guess I'll have to play something. Oh, son of a bitch.